I learned about logarithms, usually shortened to log, many times without ever understanding what they were. After years, I finally figured out a good way to explain it. First, let's look at something more basic. If I say John threw the ball, and I decide I want to reverse the statement, so I'm talking about the ball instead of John, I can't just move the words around like this. The ball threw John. That changes the meaning of the sentence. I have to use grammar rules to switch the words. I have to say, the ball was thrown by John. Algebra has those same kinds of rules. If you have an equation like 7 equals x over 6, then you want to get the x on the right all by itself. But you can't just move the 1/6 over to the other side like this. 7 over 6 equals x. You have to use certain rules of algebra. In this case, you multiply both sides of the equation by 6. That creates a 6 over 6 on the right, which is equal to 1. X times 1 is just x. So now x is by itself. Meanwhile, on the left, you get 7 times 6. 7 times 6 equals x. Now you can see more clearly what x is and how to find it. It's 42. But what if you have something that looks like this? 10 raised to the x equals 10,000. How do you get x by itself here? You can't just multiply both sides by 1 over 10 like you did the last time. You'd end up with the exponent just floating there with nothing under it, which means nothing. Raised to the x equals 10,000 over 10? Before I show you the trick, let's look at another word analogy. Ball raised to the rules equals baseball game. Think of the word rules here as a powerful enhancement of the use of a ball. You have a ball. Apply rules to its use, and what do you get? A baseball game. But what if you want to talk about the rules by themselves? You can't just move the ball over to the other side. Rules equals ball, baseball game. You can put a ball together with a baseball game, but that doesn't mean you're using it. A kid might be holding one while they watch from the stands. You have to be more specific. Instead, you have to talk about the use of a ball in a baseball game. Rules equals use of ball, baseball game. Now we can describe the rules as the use of the ball at the baseball game. So back to our math problem. When you have an equation like 10 raised to the x equals 10,000, to get x by itself, you have to use a special word, log. The number 10, which was the base of the exponent, that thing that held the exponent, that little number up in the sky, goes to the other side of the equals and becomes the base of the log, a little number stuck in a hole between the word log and the other number. X equals log base 10 of 10,000. Log, short for logarithm, is the word used to describe the exponent when it's by itself. In this case, you can look up log base 10 of 10,000 to get the answer. It's 4. Remember, these two very different looking equations mean the exact same thing. It's just that sometimes it's easier to see important information with one or the other, depending on the problem. If you ever forget how to go from exponents to logs, here's a little trick. Anything raised to the power of 0 equals 1, and the log base anything of 1 is 0. So just imagine the exponent dropping down to the ground and the 10 moving to the other side of the equals and digging a little hole for itself. Still confused? Drop me a comment below and I'll see if I can help.